When we look at existential questions, I do want to remind you that what I've done here is download these 150 questions from my book, which is called the Book of Existential Questions. So I'm urging you to download it, go through them, do yourself a favor, note your answers, make it real, make it tangible for yourself, make yourself accountable. Bear in mind that we have been talking about self-fidelity, self-advocacy, seeking the truth, and now seeking new potential directions, action steps, pursuing old dreams even, looking at the ambitions and bucket list things that you've got maybe out there, looking at the whole gamut of options and possibilities and opportunities. And in the words of the military, it's about becoming all you can be. So hopefully some of you will make decisions based on this, but I do believe these 150 questions are going to be helpful for you. Some will not be relevant, but quite a few will be. So I'm going to read something for you on this. Existentialist questions are almost inevitable in everyone's life at some point. They allow us to become aware or question the why, what, where, who, how, and purpose of our existence. Simply put, if the purpose of life is to have a life of purpose, then what does that mean for you personally? The following questions, the ones downloaded, are designed to assist in providing some answers. These answers can then allow us to truly become the authors or architects of our own existence, if we are willing to allow ourselves to turn them into action steps. Once aware and conscious of the origins and present validity, if any, of our beliefs, behaviors, reactions, and choices, then, if we choose to retain the status quo, it is still a choice, not a must or a dilemma anymore. One is no choice. Two options are a dilemma. We need at least three options to be able to make a real choice. As was mentioned in the list of C's, seeing the light. Courage is not the absence of fear, but doing something despite the fear. It was Norman Cousins who wrote that death is not the ultimate tragedy of life. The ultimate tragedy is depersonalization, dying in an alien and sterile area, separated from the spiritual nourishment that comes from being able to reach out to a loving hand, separated from a desire to experience the things that make life worth living, separated from hope. This loss of self can be viewed as a form of self-abandonment, and if the emotional or physical pain is too great, then self-rejection and self-hatred can quickly follow. To put it into full context, by our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, we have the ability to become our worst adversary or our best advocate. Now, let me remind you that most people spend a lifetime seeking a missing sense of external acceptance and will try and become whatever they feel they need to in order to gain acceptance and love by those from whom they desire it. This can result in a constant return to situations and behaviors that might be against one's true beliefs and are usually against one's own interests. This will only add to the internalized and often verbalized sense of unworthiness and low self-esteem. Having to give up one's true self in order to try and gain love from someone else will often result in so-called codependent relationships and a very unfulfilling life, a life of surviving rather than of truly living. We cannot always control what happens to us or around us, but we can learn to change our responses to those things. We can lead a life in pursuit of our own goals, allowing ourselves the gift of being open to pursue our own true potential and returning to a state of full connectedness with our own spirit. As Gene Achterberg once said, to lose one's soul eliminates meaning from life. Healing, then, is a process of shifting our beliefs, thoughts, and actions from that of being our own worst enemy into becoming our own best friend, or at least treating ourselves with the same kindly consideration that we would extend to someone we loved unconditionally. I will sometimes state to a client that you are the only person you will never leave or lose in your entire lifetime, so you might as well establish the best possible relationship with yourself. Knowing that our attitude defines our experience of anything and that our attitude is directly linked to our beliefs, thoughts, and actions, we are therefore the architects and authors of our own existence. These questions are designed to assist you in defining your beliefs and thereby your true choices and possible present and future action steps.